This is just going to be a quick presentation for data visualization using both Tableau and Microsoft Excel. For our criteria, there are many different aspects to take into account when evaluating these charts / visualizations. This includes the aspect ratio, readability, visual contrast between data, and many other different points of criteria. For visualization 1, I decided to use the stats from many different countries and territories. We use Tableau for the visualization tool, and the steps taken to actually get the visualization is importing the CSV into Tableau, entering the workspace, dragging the relevant data into the columns or rows section, and it'll just automatically create the graph for you. And you can select the graph type that fits the kind of data that you currently have. I decided to go with a histogram, and it is extremely unbearably long. For the effectiveness of this, or both of those graphs, is that they had great contrast. Each country had its own line or data set. The readability could be better, but it's just due to the high amount of data points in this data set. The aspect ratio is not misleading. The data is visualized equal to the realistic number that is in the data set, so there's no misleading parts about it. It's just that it really needs shrunk down, or probably could have used a different type of graph or chart. For visualization 2, we did the worldwide university rankings of 2023. We used Microsoft Excel for this. All it took to do this was open the CSV file. It'll open automatically in Excel, selected the data by highlighting it, and used a pivot table chart to visualize the data. For the most part, you can just kind of click next on the window to do that, and it'll automatically create the chart for you. And here is the chart that we used for that. The aspect ratio is not misleading with this chart. It's a very simple histogram chart. It's the same with the previous one. The placement makes sense, but the words are still a little small, so you can realistically make sense of the chart, but it's just a little hard to read. The data is well organized from the highest university score to the 10th lowest, I believe it is. So the organization makes plenty of sense, and it's very readable. For visualization 3, we used a data set of all of the vehicles towed in Chicago. We used Tableau for this visualization, and the steps taken to get the visualization are basically the same as the first one. Importing it, selecting the workspace, selecting what you want to put in columns, what you want to put in rows, etc. There's the chart. It's very simple and easy to understand since the visual is just a basic bar graph. All of the labels are very readable and are able to be read by the average viewer. Users can easily compare each of the data points with high contrast, as you can tell the difference between each of the data points. The data is not sorted by value, which makes it a little harder to comprehend or understand or compare each of the data points. But they are sorted by the name, if that's what you'd rather have it sorted by. So it looks a little more disorganized, but it's still fairly easy to read. And that was basically it for our presentation. Thank you.